Hey YouTube, welcome. In this episode I'm going to attempt to turn the proverbial sow's ear into a silk purse. Have a look and see how it goes. Believe it or not, this is the next project my wife would like me to undertake. She has rescued this poor old blanket box. It was actually left out in the weather. I think it was being used as a toy box when she acquired it, and anyway she wants me to do it up to all its former glory, and she intends to use it as a blanket box. So, okay, I shall document my attempts to make that look beautiful. I think I've already said in the intro that this was the box my wife rescued from the elements. She's been very patient about it. It's been a few months since I did the intro and I still haven't got to this project, but I'm about to start it now. There's a bit of noise in the background because I've got another project underway as well, and that is over there the bandsaw is cutting through a bit of I-beam that I'm going to use for a wood splitter, which will be going up on the net very shortly as well, I hope. First job to do is to pull this apart because I need to dress up all this wood, and I think I've got a better chance of doing it with it all apart. Apart from the fact that it's only sort of just hanging in there anyway and really needs redoing. That's a different piece of board to these other two, although it's all been done at the factory by the looks of the nails in it. First thing for me to do, I'll take it apart, get all the nails out of it, ready to work on. I don't know if it's the quality of the manufacturing or the fact that it's been out in the weather for a little bit already, but certainly not very hard to get this apart. Now it's actually, I think, partly the quality of the manufacturing, because I can see they've had some glue on it, but they obviously can't afford to put very much glue on it. Must be a really expensive sort of glue. That's how easy it is to get that apart. Getting it back together might be another issue. I put these end pieces on pretty good. Got some screws in them as well as, I guess, glue. I'll know in a minute. Yep, definitely got glue on that as well. Nails are a bit hard to get out though. They're those little brads they fire out of those small nail guns. Rubbish metal in them, I guess, because it bends as soon as you try to back it out. I'm going to have to get a little bit ingenious to get them out because I want to put these through the planer. And of course you don't want the ironmongery in there if you're going through a planer. This one's a bit tough. Yeah, a bit rusted in that one. No wonder it was tough. That appears to be all the screws now. I've just got some nails to finish getting out. I've got the box apart now, and I've stacked each of the segments in its own stack so that I don't get them all mixed up. I've kept the lid, the front and back, the sides, the end pieces, corner pieces rather, all separate. I'll keep them that way. The floor's in another stack. In theory, the floor and the sides should be interchangeable. In practice, they may not be, so once I prepare it, I'll start laying it out and just sorting out which boards I want where. But keeping them separate will give me a good starting point, and beyond that I can organise them by matching the pattern of the grain in the wood. Now, I've had this planer for a lot of years now, and it's been invaluable for doing jobs like this. Certainly makes the work a lot easier than trying to do it by hand with a orbital sander, a belt sander, or even a hand planer. Now, I forget how much I paid for it, but that'd be kind of irrelevant now because it's at least 35 years old. Now, I sure don't use it every day, but I still reckon for the work it's done over the years that it's paid for itself many times over. Now, all I'm wanting to do with these boards is to clean them up and just take the dusty, dirty surface off them, make the wood nice and new again, so that I can varnish it up and it'll shine up real nice, have a nice grain showing in it. So I'm just taking the barest shave off the surface of the timber. I don't know what the measurement would be, but it'd be something like 1/10 of a millimetre, less than a 64th of an inch. Just the barest shave just to get down through that dirt layer and expose the nice wood. And once I've put one side of the timber through, I'll just wind the planer down a touch more, another 1/10 of a millimetre, tiniest barest amount, and I'll run it through on the other side so that both sides of the woods are nice and clean. Now you might notice in this shop that you can get a catcher for all the dust and chips. It's fastened on with those bolts you see around the lot that all the dust and chips is flying out of. However, unless you have a fan there to suck it through the tube, or pipe, whatever you want to call it, that it all empties into, then it clogs up pretty quickly. The fan's another expensive item, and I really don't use it enough to warrant the extra expense of this. And for the amount that I use it, I just try and set it up near a door and let the dust go mostly outside and hope for the best. The machine itself is not a name brand, or at least it wasn't back when I bought it. It's a really solid machine. It takes at least 2 guys to lift it, 4 guys to lift it comfortably, but 2 guys can manage to move it around all right. I'm putting the lid together first. I've cut some new pieces to fasten it together with because these old ones were just a bit of an embarrassment to put them back on. And looking at them, I think they should have been a bit of an embarrassment to use them in the first place. Now, because these boards had a little bit of a woofle in them, I've got a couple of bits of RHS there and I've clamped them across, pull all the boards flat, and I've still got a little bit of an excessive gap between a couple of them, so I've got these pipe clamps here and I'm going to use that to pull that gap out. I think I might want a bit of sacrificial timber in there so I don't bruise the real deal. Let's see what I can find. These should do the trick. Just need some scraps just to take the pressure of the pipe clamp. Okay, first problem when we pull that in, we pull things out of alignment. So just need to move things back again. Alright, now see if we can pull him back in without moving him. Yep, I got him. Now, see if we can do the same on this other end. You probably won't need as much pressure because I think I pulled most of it in with the other clamp. Whether I need to put another clamp on that or not, I've got a little tiny gap just between 2 of the boards, only in this one spot. So I don't think I'm going to do any good trying to pull that out. That must be localised woofle. Next thing to do is to just get some glue on these and screw them down, so I'll just get prepared for that. Now I've got everything ready to go. I'm going to use a bit of Sally's Aqua here. I've used that for many years and haven't had a problem with it. Rather like it as a wood glue. I've only ever come across one wood glue that I like better, but that's so dear that it's prohibitively expensive for any sort of job where you need a real amount of glue. One thing, I'm going to be a lot more generous with the glue than the original manufacturers were. Good thing about Aqua here, it dries clear. And there's never any real problem about cleaning up. Oh, isn't that typical battery clot whenever you want it? And the spare battery splat. Dear. Just stick one on charge. I'm obviously going to need it. Okay, get the power drill. It's not as good as the portable for this job, but at least it is controllable on speed via trigger pressure, which is a little bit more haphazard than doing it with the proper drill that's got a setting, a clutch setting I guess you'd call it, for how much force to put on it. But I've got the glue on now, got the job started. I need to do something about getting it finished. Do this other end one first because it'll be easier to get into. Again, fairly generous with the glue. Could have been slightly too generous with the glue this time. Go and grab a rag and wipe some of the excess. Yeah, by the time that dries, I don't think we'll notice it too much. We'll get a coat of varnish and it's on the inside. All things considered, a little bit too much glue, but not a disaster. Same story with this inside one. By the time I get in here to do it, you won't see anything, but you've seen it's the same story, just some screws through it. One thing I will mention, I measured these screws so that they're the same length as this board, so that by the time you get this board in it, they'll be comfortably short of going through the far side. Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can go to my channel or browse to my website. Don't forget to click like, comment and subscribe for more. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to click that bell button so that you get notifications of new videos. Until next time.